name is Ryan, this is Jacob Ensemble, this is Randy Driscoll, and we're from Mosley High School. Today we'll be performing Three of a Kind by Lynn Glassaw. Something really cool to listen about this piece is how the fact that there are 3 of us and 7 drums, and how we pop the snares off at 39 through about 58 to get some really cool different sounds going on with the drums.
Okay. Well together. A straight line is certainly acceptable for a setup, but if you want to have some, visual, nods and that kind of thing, if that's important, you could do more of a curve. That would be a possibility, or even like this kind of a thing, where it just was a little bit more compressed. So, setup is fun to kind of play around with, really. You do everything so capably that the things that I have to suggest are small, and yet the devil is in the details. To be able to do things basically well is easy. If you don't have the basics down, you shouldn't honestly be playing even. Really, when you think of it, the basics, we probably had that down when you were in middle school or your early high school years, that kind of thing. But it's the details that create excellence in life. It's not just a music competition here, or music festival, I guess they call it. It's just in everything that you do. There's that. Some people take things to that next level, and they win championships, as example, or they become a Grammy Award winner, or they, it's just like what defines excellence versus sort of there. Is mediocrity acceptable? No, of course it's not. It's the same thing. It equals failure. That's what mediocrity is. Being normal is a drier setting. Who wants to be a drier setting? I don't want to be normal. I want to be abnormally wonderful, and that's what we're talking about here, are those excellences. So like when you turn your snares back on, here's just a detail. When you turn the knob on, turn it on very quietly. Just slide it on, and with the other hand, have your hand on the snares so you don't hear that. I just turned the snares on. We don't want to hear that particular sound, right? That's kind of the nuance that we're talking about. We need to fix the piccolo snare so that when the snares are off, you don't get the kickback. You just adjust it, you work on it. Those are those, we call it the details, those tiny things, but they're ever so important. I thought you had a great groove. I thought you just collaborate, work really well together. I think there are places where you have unison moments that aren't that, though. You know, diggy-diggy-da, 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 diggy-diggy-da. It's got to sound like one person somehow having multiple sticks or mallets in their hands and playing an array of drums right around them, you know. And we've seen these giant drum set setups, you know, it's just in the round, you know, cymbals and gongs, and that's what it kind of is. If I were not a sighted individual and I were just listening to you play, I want to hear, I know when there's unisons, you know, I know that part, you know, and I want to have it sound truly that. That is a challenge of the greatest demand, I think, is to sound like, to have three people sound like one individual. To have a blend and a consistency of sound is really important, which will also mean paying stricter attention to tuning your tom-toms because they're not in tune, okay? Another detail. These are just those little elements that take a person or an ensemble to the next level. So I really appreciate how diligent you are in your work ethic. I think it's a proven thing. I mean, you do a very musical job, and you know, kudos to you. Okay, have a wonderful day. Thank you, gentlemen.